This is a lab session in which I am going to discuss how to implement multitask in a playbook. So to understand this, I have taken a simple example, that is installation of a package. For the installation of a package, multiple steps are required. So let's understand this with this diagram. I have an Ansible server and two clients I have, that is client 1 and client 2, and I want to perform package installation, that is Apache and FTP package. So two package I want to install on my client 1 and client 2 from the Ansible server via Playbook. But I have few requirements. Very first step, when my Playbook is running, it should mount the OS media drive that is on my client machine, that is client 1 and client 2. And then it should create the local repository and then install the required package. Fourth is, once the package is installed, it should enable the service, and the fifth is start the service. So here you can see multiple tasks are required for the complete installation of a package. So let me create a single playbook, and in that single playbook I'm going to define all those tasks. So this is my Ansible server, and first of all let me show you what all the servers I have in a prod group. So two client machine, that is client 1 and client 2. So these are my machines. Now the next is, here you can see that I have logged into the system as a normal user. I am in this location. Okay, I am going to create a playbook. You can give any name. I have just given multitask.yml. Insert. And also let me take a session of my client 1 as well. Okay. Now you can see that as of now on my client 1, OS media is not mounted. My first step via the Ansible, it should mount the OS media. So let's start. It always start with 3 dashes. Host prod group I have created. I want it should become should be true. So that's why I've used become is equal to true. Become, and the user, yes, I want it should become a root user before performing the task. Okay. So my first task is mount the OS media drive. So how we can mount the OS media drive? For that I am going to use the simple module, that is command module, and I am going to fire this one, mount /dev sr0. We all know that sr0, this device name is for the your media, that is for the CD drive, and I want it should mount in /mnt. So this is my first step. Second step is create the local repository. So I have already created a file in my Ansible server. This is my Ansible server, and this is the repository. So I'm just trying to create the local repository. So I want that this file, this server.repo, it should copy to my client machine, that is client 1 and client 2, in this location, that is em.repos.d. In this location I want it should be created. Okay, so I'm in this location and we have this file here. Okay, let me again open my this playbook. My second task is copy the local repo file, and for that I'm going to use copy module, okay, and I have to specify the source. Source is on the same location and same server, and that is in this /home swarma Ansible, and here we have this file, that is server.repo. right, let me show you. Now you can see this is the location under which we have this file, server.repo. And destination where you want to copy, I want it should copy into this etc em.repos.d. okay, so this is my second task. Let me log into this machine. I'm already in this client one, and let me go into this em.repos. Here you can see that server.repo is not there, so I want that it should be copied. If I'll simplify em repo list, no repositories available, right? If I'll try to install any package, as of now on my client machine it won't allow you. So we need to first enable the repositories, or we can say that we have to attach the client machine to the local repository or any em server you have in your environment. It could be the satellite server as well. Now 2 tasks has been done. Now third is install the package. Okay, so to install the package, let me put this one, install, and install the vsftpd package. For that I'm going to use the yum module, right, and name, I have to specify the name of my package, vsftpd, and state, it should be latest. Okay, and I want it should install one more package, that is install httpd em name latest. Okay, so 3 tasks you can see I have mentioned here. Okay, once my this playbook is running, first it will try to mount the OS media, and then it will create the local repository and then install the package. I want it should enable the service as well. So to enable the service, I'm going to use name and start and enable the service, right? For that I'm going to use service, and it is asking the name of your service, vsftpd, and I want state should be started, and I want enabled. I want it should be enabled as well. So here you have to mention true. So this is one thing. I want the same for other service as well. Start and enable. Okay. Service module I have used here. Enter name is httpd, state I want it should be started, enable is true. So that's all. Let me come out here and let me cat this. Okay, so here you can see this playbook. First it will try to mount the OS media drive with this command, then it will copy the local repo, this one. So this repo file is here in my Ansible server, and it is going to copy to both of my client and in this location, and then it will install the package vsftp and vsftpd and sttpd. And okay, some mistake here, I can see that. Okay, name is state. Fantastic. Now let me run this playbook. Ansible playbook multi capital K. So once it will become a root user, it should ask for the sudo password. Red hat. I'm getting some syntax error, that is on line number 19. So this is, we have some error here. So let me come out from here. Again, I'm going to put this one. I've just removed those lines and recreated it. Now it is running. It is gathering the servers, both client 1 and client 2. It has mounted the CD OS media drive, copy the local repo file. Now it is trying to install the vsftp package on both of my client 1 and client 2. It has installed the Apache package as well. Start and enable the service as well. So 6 changes has been done. So let me log into my client 1 and let me check. Here you can see that it has copied the repo file. Okay, so this is the location where we are, and df-h, you can see that it has mounted the OS CD drive as well. 2 tasks has been done. Let me check the package rpm-qa grep-i. Here you can see the Apache package has been installed. So both the package has been installed. Let me check the service as well. systemctl status vsftpd, service is running, disable as well, right? So whatever we have mentioned in the playbook, what all the tasks, multiple tasks we have mentioned, all has performed. So friend, that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture, I am going to tell a few more important points about the multitask. So that's all. We'll see you in the next lecture. Let's continue and do some more understanding about the multitask. So in the previous lecture, we had simply created a playbook for the installation of a package, and multiple tasks are there. So here we have all the points, point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4 and point 5. So let me log into my client 1 and I'm in this location. You can see that this file has been copied. So this is the repo file for the yum, local repository, we can see that. And this is for RHEL 8. If your Ansible environment you have created with RHEL 7, so accordingly you can create here the repo file. And here you can see that it has mounted the CD drive as well. This is my OS media and all the files of the OS media, you can see that. And if I'll file yum repo list, it is showing the required packages. That's why the Ansible is able to install the packages on the client machine, because the yum, local yum has been configured. Okay, now one thing I want to tell you here, Suppose I'm on this server Ansible. Again, I'm going to run this same Ansible. Let me unmount this one. Let me do it via the command. Ansible -m command -a. I am trying to unmount the M entry from both of my servers. It is asking for the servers as well, that is prod. Okay, so this MNT has been unmounted now. If I'll go inside, I won't able to see anything because it is not mounted yet. If I'll simplify em repo list, it is still showing because I have not cleaned em clean all. Okay, nothing is showing there. Okay, if I will try again, if I'll try to install any package, it won't allow me. Now coming back here, again I'm going to run the Ansible playbook. Gathered both the servers, mounted the OS media. Now here you can see that copy the local repo file and see the color, it is green. It means that it has not done any changes on the client machine. Let me try to explain this one. It has tried to mount the OS media because I had already unmounted it, so that's why it is showing that this one changed. Some changes has been done. It has mounted the OS media, and when it tries to copy the local repo file, it didn't copy because the file is already there. Install the package, it didn't install the package because package is already installed. That is for same both the package, that is FTP as well as your Apache package as well. Start the services and enable the service. Here you can see the service is already started and it is also enabled. So total changes for my client 1, it is showing 1, and same one changes for client 2 as well. Okay, so this is one thing. Let me again unmount it. Okay, now let me log into my client 1. I think client 1 I have already logged in. Okay, it's not logged in. Okay, now I'm client 1, systemctl status as httpd. Okay, and it's enabled also. Let me disable it. Systemctl disable and httpd. So it has been disabled now. Service is running now. Again I am going to run the same command on my client machine. It has mounted the OS media drive. Copy, it didn't copy because the file is already there. Package is already installed. Now here you can see that for FTP service, the service is already started. It is also enabled. But for Apache service, the service is started but it is not in enabled state. So one changes has been done. So total changes for client 2 is 2 here. For client 1 is 2. Right? Because I am in client 1. Again, if I'll fire this command, you can see that it is showing enabled now. So let me stop this one, and also I'm going to stop this one as well. Okay, I think I have passed the wrong password. Let me log into my client 2 as well and do some changes in client 2 as well. So many changes, different changes I have done on both of servers. It didn't copy because the file is already there. Okay, now here you can see the start and stop. It has done the changes, this one. So total changes, 3 changes. Here you can see that. So here you can see it has not installed the packages. It has not copied this repo file. So this is called the idempotemp behavior of the modules. So friends, that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture, I want to show a few more important points about the multitask. In this lab session, I am going to discuss a few more important points about the multitask in a playbook. In the previous lecture, I had created a playbook with multiple tasks. So here we have. And suppose I am running that multitask for these 2 clients, client 1 and client 2. And when it is running, it is going to perform the task one by one. First it will try to mount this one, and second, third and fourth and fifth. Suppose on client 1, when it is trying to mount the OS media drive, it has got some error. Some fault is there. It is not able to mount the media drive. So what will happen next? Your Ansible is not going to perform the further task, that is task 2, task 3, task 4, task 5, whatever you have mentioned in the playbook for client 1. And on client 2, if it is able to mount the OS media drive, it is going to move further. So all the steps will be performed on client 2, but on client 1, it is not going to perform all the further steps. So this is how your Ansible works. So let me log in here and let me first unmount it. I think it is already unmounted from my okay. This is my client 1, this is my client 2. This is my client 1, okay. Now I am coming back here. And this is my client 1. Going to setting, and I'm just disconnecting this one. Okay, coming back here. So when I'm going to run this playbook on client 1, when it is trying to mount the OS media drive, it won't able to because the media is disconnected. So all the further steps it is not going to perform. Let me also remove this one. Okay, and systemctl stop vsftpd. Okay, I'm coming back on my client 2. So on client 2, it is going to copy this repo file, and also it will try to start the services. But on client 1, at very first step, it will get some error, and it will not further execute the next task. So let me log into my Ansible server and going to execute my playbook. It has gathered both the servers. Now here you can see on client 1 some error has come up. Now you can see that the further task is only performing on the client 2 only, not with client 1. Okay, so let me scroll up. So it is started gathering the facts. Here it tried to mount the OS media. It has got the media in client 2. It has mounted the media. and on client 1 it has got some error, and I told you that if it has got some error and any task, the further task it is not going to perform. So the next task is copy the repo file. It has copied the repo file only on client 2, not on client 1. Here you can see the file is not copied, and on client 2 you can see the file has been copied, and everything it is showing on this message as well, this Ansible. It is started the services only on the client 2. Okay, so with this example, I believe you got an idea how the Ansible playbook works in a multitask. So friend, that's all. We'll see you in the next lecture. Bye. Now it has come to the second task. Now it is asking you want to execute this. If you say yes, then only it will move to the next. So this is called a step-by-step execution. So friend, that's all for this lecture. Hope you have got these are the simple things which is very much required if you are creating a playbook. So thanks for watching, and if you have time, please join with me in the next lecture. Hello everyone, and welcome to Automation with Ansible. This is a lab session in which I am going to create a complex playbook, and that playbook is basically for the installation of Apache web server. We all know that there are a lot of steps which is required for the complete installation of Apache web server. So this is what I am going to do with the playbook. I am going to put all the steps. I'm going to put all the tasks one by one which is required for the installation of Apache web server. So what are the steps for the installation of Apache web server? So let's understand this first. So we are going to create a playbook for the installation of Apache web server. So we should know first of all what are the steps for that. So steps for the installation of Apache web server. So very first step is install latest package of HTTPD. So this is the first step. Second step, after the installation, you need to start and enable the HTTPD service. You have to start the service as well as enable. Enable means if you will take the reboot, the server will come up with this service. The third step is install latest package for firewall D. If you are using RHL7, so this package is already installed, but I would include this task as well. And the next task is same like start and enable firewall D service. Fifth step is that now you have the firewall that is running on your web server. So a lot of incoming requests will be reaching to your web server. So you need to permit the HTTP service at the firewall level. So you have to permit HTTP service at firewall. So these are the steps we have to include while creating the playbook. Sixth is your create simple HTML web page. Seventh would be defining web server name. Like suppose my client is client 1, so I want my web server name would be www.client client1.example.com, so that anybody, if they will try to access my web server, so they have to type this at the browser, www.client1.example.com. If you want, you can give it some other as well. Seventh is your update its entry in etc host file. So this is what I am going to do with my playbook. So why I am telling these steps, because if you are going to do something, you should have the background. So with these steps I am going to create the playbook. So friend, that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture I will be continuing from here. So thanks for watching, and if you have time, please join with the next lecture. Hello everyone, and welcome to Automation with Ansible. So welcome to the lab session. So as of now we have understand the steps for the installation of Apache web server. So let me log in to this Ansible server and create a playbook. So you can give any name, Apache web server installation.yml. So as usual, I will start with 3 dashes here. Now the first task. My first task would be this one. Install latest package of Apache. Install latest package of HTTPD. For that I would be using yum. Here I have to specify the name, which package I want to install, HTTPD, and state would be your latest. So your first task is this one. Second task would be your start and enable the HTTP service. Start and enable the HTTP service. So for that I would be using a module service. Name is my HTTPD service. It should be enabled, and also state would be your started. Now coming to the third task. Third task is install latest package for firewall-D. I am using yum for that. Name firewall-D, state latest, and I need to make sure that it's service and it should be in started state. So I just copy and pasting here. I would be using service, firewall-D, enable true, and state would be my started, so that it would be in started state if it is not, and also it will enable the service as well. Now coming to the next, permit HTTP service at firewall. So this is my fifth task. Fifth task would be this one. Permit HTTP service. I would be using this module, that is firewall D, and in that I would be using service. Service is my HTTP, and I want it should be permanent, true, state it should be enable, and I want it should be immediate. So the changes would be immediate only. So this is what you have to do it if you want to enable any service at the firewall. So simply I have used the module firewall D and specify the service name and permanent state enabled. That's all. Now my next task would be, the sixth one is create simple HTML web page. So create simple HTML web page. So how we can do that? For that I would be using a copy module, and here I will be specifying this content is my welcome to the Ansible learning course module. You can put any method, and where I want to put destination would be my this one, where www.html. In that we have the file index.html. So it is going to update this file. If this file would be there, it will put this content, and if this file is not there, it is going to create this file. Okay, coming to the next one, defining the web server name. So my web server name is www.client.example.com. So for that I would be using name, defining web server name. Here I am using a module that is line in file, because I am going to put this entry in this etc httpd. In that we have the file conf. In the file we have the main configuration file of your httpd, that is your httpd.conf. So I want to put some content. So here I would be using this line in file, this module, and path, where it is in this etc httpd conf httpd.conf. Why I am using this module, I'm telling you, because I want to insert this line. I want to insert this after specifying some after a specific line. Let me tell you, insert after this. So this is my line, this is my file name path, and what I want to insert, line, this server name is www.client1.example.com:80. So what will happen, this line will be inserted into this file, and I want that where it should be inserted. If you are not specifying this insert after that, what will happen, this line will be inserted to this file at the last of the line. But my requirement is that I want it should be inserted after a line, this one, insert after this one. If you go to this file, you will find this line, this one, server name. So I want that this line should be inserted after the line started with hash server name. Okay. And one more thing I need to update, that is update its entry in etc host file. So name, update its entry in etc host file. Again I am using the same line in file module. Path, where you want to add this line, you have to specify the file. My file would be this one, etc host. And what you want to add, line, I want to add this, the IP of my web server, my client, that is this one, and 139, and it should be added like this way. Okay, so all has been done now. All the 8 step has been done now. Let me come out from that. Okay, so this is what we have done. We have created a simple playbook here. You can see that what all the things we have in this file. It's very simple. First it install the latest package of Apache, then it will start and enable the HTTP service, then it will install the firewall D, it will start and enable its services, and then it permits the HTTP service at the firewall level, and will create a simple HTML page that you can see, welcome to the Ansible learning. And also we should have some web page name as well, website page name. So here I have given this www.client1.example.com, and it should work this, and I want that this entry should be added into this file and after this line. So if you open this file, there will be a lot of lines. I want this line should be inserted into this line, this file, and it should after this a line which is started with hash server name, and update its entry in etc host file as well. If you are not specifying anything here, so what will happen, this entry will be added at the end of this file. So friend, that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture I am just going to execute this file for you. So thanks for watching, and if you have time, please join me in the next lecture. At the end of this file. So friend, that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture I'm just going to execute this file for you. So thanks for watching, and if you have time, please join me in the next lecture. Hello everyone, and welcome to Automation with Ansible. So let's continue. In the last lecture we have simply created the playbook for the Apache web server installation. So the web page which I had created, it was this one. So let me first check the syntax error. So for that we have the command Ansible -playbook and then syntax -check and the name of my web page. I'm getting some syntax error. Maybe I have done some mistake in the file, my playbook. So let me cross check what happened. Here you can see that I haven't specified this task. So this line I have missed. I have taken so many tasks. I have created so many tasks, but at the starting I have just forgot to mention tasks. Again I want to check this. Let's see. Now everything seems to be fine. It is saying that you are good to execute this playbook. So let me cross check with my client as well. So this is my client, rpm-qa grep-i httpd. So let me check whether this service has been installed. This package is not installed. This is tool, this is different, but I want httpd. It is not installed. Systemctl firewall D, status firewall D. It is not loaded, it is in inactive state, so all seems fine now. And the name of my web page is this one. Let me ping this e-links, this one. So it is not working at all. From the server end, I am trying to access this website, it is not working because it is not created yet. Now I am going to execute my playbook. Ansible playbook, this one. Let's do one thing. Let me do it one by one. So for that we have this step. Yes, it is gathering the facts. First task, it is trying to install the package, that is httpd. Install latest package of httpd. It's done now. Let me cross check at the client. Now you can see the package is showing there. Now coming to the next task, that is start and enable the service. So systemctl status httpd. It is dead now. After the execution of this next task, it will start it. It is starting and enabling the service. Now you can see the service is running now. Install latest package of firewall. It is saying that green means it is already installed. Now it is asking, you want to start and enable the firewall services? I said yes. Now I am client. Let me check it out whether this service is started now. Now both the service has been started now. Now it is asking for the permit HTTP service. So how we can check that the service is permitted or not? For that we have the command firewall the cmd this is my default zone. Getting some error. Now it is showing that HTTP service is already enabled. Okay. So let me remove this service because I just want to show that after running this task, it will enable this. So I can remove it. Firewall D cmd -- remove. Now it has been removed from the client. Now permit this HTTP service, so it will allow this. I am putting yes. Done now. If you want to cross check, you can see the service has been enabled now. After running my task, create a simple web page here. So let me put yes here and then defining web page as well. So let me cross check what it is doing this. So basically it is that file httpd this. We have this file httpd.conf. So I want to add a line after this line. This is server name, this one. So here I am continuing it. Done, and etc host file also done. So let me show you whether this entry has been added or not. You can see the entry has been added now. Also let me check it in etc host file. In etc host file also it is showing there. So everything is done now. Now I'm going to check with my elinks command. Elinks www.client1.example.com. You can see that the web server which I am trying to access from my Ansible server to the client one. Client one is my web server now, which I have created with the playbook, and I can see that the web page it is opening now. So friends, that's all for this lecture. Hope you have understand how we can create the complex playbook in which we can define so many tasks step by step. So thanks for watching, and if you have time, please join with me in the next lecture.